Welcome to Chapter 7 of Animal Classification. Today we'll be reading about birds. Over in the photographs on the right, the caption underneath says, "Different kinds of birds live in many different habitats." So I can see that the place where these birds are living looks very different. There's parrots here in the jungle. Here are some penguins out in the ice. And then I'm not sure what this bird is, but it looks like it's maybe in the desert, somewhere where there's not very much water. All right, Chapter 7, Birds. Yoo-hoo, over here, it's Rattenborough. So far, you have learned about the following groups of animals within the animal kingdom: mammals, reptiles, fish, and amphibians. Do you remember all of their different characteristics? Do you remember that we said that fish were the largest group of vertebrates in the animal kingdom? Well, today we're going to talk about the second largest group of vertebrates, birds. Birds belong to a group all their own. Birds, like all living things, are highly adaptive, meaning they can survive in many different habitats. You can find them in deserts and in the coldest places on Earth. Many love forests. There are only a few birds found way out to sea, many miles from land. But if you are out in a boat only a few miles from land, you may see many seabirds, such as seagulls. All right, we can get out our glossary, ready to add a few more words today. One of the first words we're going to talk about is adaptive. I've got A, D, A, P, T, I, V, E. That suffix I-V-E at the end. So I have adaptive. A is a vowel, D is a consonant, A is a vowel, P and T are consonants, I is a vowel, V and V is a consonant, and E is a vowel, but at the end does not make a sound. It might change the sound of another vowel. So adaptive has 3 vowel sounds, even though there are 4 vowels in the word. Adaptive means easily changes to live in different environments. You guys are all being adaptive right now, but instead of to live in different environments, you have adapted to easily learn in different environments. We've been very adaptive as a school. So to draw a little photograph, let's see, I'm going to draw, remember that rabbit from our chapter on mammals? Would have brown fur in the summer and the springtime, and then when it gets icy and snowy, it would change and adapt to have white fur so that it would blend in and predators couldn't find it in the winter time. Let's draw a little sketch of that. The next word is flock. F-L-O-C-K. Flock has one short O sound, one syllable, and a flock is simply a group of birds. Remember, a group of fish is called a school. A group of birds is called a flock. And if you see more than one flock, you can add suffix XS to make the word flocks, more than one. And I'm just going to draw lots of these little, they kind of look like M's to show a group of birds flying all together. All right, the next word, this is a fun one, is penguin. P-E-N G-U-I-N, penguin. I see P is a consonant, E is a vowel, N and G are consonants, U is a vowel, I is a vowel. Together they will make one sound, and N is a consonant. So we have 2 vowel sounds, penguin. And a penguin is a bird that cannot fly, has black and white feathers, and uses its wings for swimming. So even if you already know what a penguin is, this is good practice to describe all of those characteristics we are observing in our animals. And you can draw, let's see, little penguin sketch. If you want to pause and take a little bit more time on that, you're welcome to. The next word we're adding to our glossary is feather. Feather. I see at the beginning of this word F is a consonant, and then I see E and A together as a vowel. We know that sometimes that makes the sound E, like in the word each. Here it's saying the sound eh, a short E sound, feather, like bread. And then TH are both consonants. E at the end paired with R is saying So two vowel sounds in this word, feather. And you probably know what a feather is, but it's one of many light, soft parts that covers a bird's skin. You have more than one feather. Most birds have more than one feather. You add an S to the end, and that suffix S makes the word plural, feathers, more than one feather. That covers a bird's skin. So I know a lot of fish had scales that covered their skin. Mammals have fur or hair that cover their skin, and birds have feathers. That's one of their identifying characteristics. The next word, Plumage. I remember that sometimes when G is followed by E, I, or Y, it changes its sound to a soft G sound, which sounds like a J, J. So this word is plumage. Plumage. There's the U is a vowel, A and E are vowels, but together there's only two vowel sounds. Plume has that long U sound, and then edge, plumage. And plumage is just a scientific word to describe birds' feathers. So I might say, did you notice that bird has pink plumage? I wonder if it's a flamingo. Our next word is nature, Nature. This is another one of those words where we get a kind of ch sound, nature, even though there's not a CH. So this is an interesting word, Nature. And if we took off the E and added the suffix AL, the word would become natural. Nature is everything in the outside world that is not made by people. So a human could use natural resources to build something, but nature are the things that are not made by people. So I'm just going to draw a quick little tree, and I'm going to draw a bird since we're talking about birds today. Just my little sketch of nature. This next word is weather, Weather. This is weather, like what is it like outside? We know that weather has a homonym, a word that sounds the same, like if we're asking whether you like pizza or hamburgers, this is the weather, the spelling that shows what it is like outside. I'm recording this video on Monday, March 30th, and today it is very rainy outside. The weather is rainy. So I'm going to draw a cloud and some little raindrops coming down to show that that is the weather today. And again, on this word weather, E and A together say eh instead of E. weather. The E is controlled by the R at the end. Our next word is nectar. N is a consonant, E is a vowel, C and T are consonants, A is a vowel, and it's next to an R, so the R controls the A sound. Nectar has two vowel sounds, two syllables. And nectar is a sweet liquid that comes from flowers. Sometimes people put nectar inside a hummingbird feeder so that they can watch hummingbirds come up to their porch without having to have flowers to feed them. So nectar is sweet liquid that comes from flowers. I'm going to draw just a little flower, and let's see. I'm going to draw an arrow and just write the word liquid to show that it's the liquid inside the flower. There's my little picture. All right, just a few words to go. This next word is attract. A, T, T, R, A, C, T. Attract. We have two vowel sounds, two A vowel sounds in this word. Attract means to draw or pull toward a person, place, or thing. So if you want to attract nice, caring friends to you, you might do that by showing kind actions to them as well. Attract is to pull toward a person, place, or thing. All right, that was it. So let's draw a little sketch for attract. I'm going to draw a person and an arrow to another person to show that they're pulling towards each other. All right, follow along. Pause the video if you lose your place and make sure you read all of the syllables in each word. Like mammals, birds are warm-blooded. Many birds migrate when the seasons change. In late fall, they fly in groups called flocks from colder places to warmer places. Then, in the spring after winter is over, they migrate back to the place where they were in the fall. Birds are the only animals besides some insects and bats that are able to fly like an airplane. The photograph shows a flock of migrating birds. All birds have wings, but not all birds are able to fly. Penguins are probably the best known birds that do not fly. Penguins make up for not flying by being great swimmers. Ostriches, the largest of all birds, can't fly either, but they sure can run very fast. They also lay the world's largest eggs. Besides wings, all birds have two legs and a mouth without teeth, called a beak. A key characteristic of birds is that they all have feathers. Feathers help these warm-blooded animals fly and help them maintain a constant body temperature. Birds' feathers come in all kinds of colors and sizes. A bird's feathers are also called plumage. Peacocks have the fanciest plumage of all. They like to show off by fanning their long, colorful feathers. And here is a photograph of some penguins, an ostrich, and that plumage on the peacock. The caption reads, "All birds have wings and feathers, but not all birds can fly." So right here, the peacock can fly. Ostriches and penguins cannot. Most birds are nesting animals. Many birds make their own nests, often high up in the trees or in thick bushes. They use bits and pieces of nature, such as twigs and parts of plants, to create their nest. Other birds build their nests in tree holes. Some bird nests are made of mud. Most birds lay eggs in their nests. Some lay a bunch of eggs and some lay only one or two. The nest needs to be in a safe place to protect the little eggs from the weather and other animals that might eat the eggs. Birds sit on their eggs to keep them warm and safe until the eggs hatch. Once they hatch, the baby birds need to eat. Mother and father birds fly out from the nest to find food for their babies. They fly back to the nest and place the food in each baby's beak. So here's a photograph showing us that the baby birds are being fed by their parents. All right, so we learned a lot of new information. The author is teaching us new information about the topic of birds. So we know they have wings. We know that they are warm-blooded. Birds have feathers. And birds have nests for their babies when they are born from their eggs. Many birds are omnivores. Some birds eat seeds and berries. Some eat insects. Some, like the great blue heron, catch fish. Hawks eat little mammals. Other birds, like tiny hummingbirds, eat nectar from flowers. All birds drink water. Birds are also known for their songs. Their songs are used to attract mates and to claim a place as their own. Sometimes it seems as if they sing because they want to. Maybe they sing just to remind us how beautiful and interesting the animal kingdom is. And over here we have some photographs of different types of birds. This is the blue heron they were talking about that catches fish to eat. Here is, I think it's a hawk, and it has caught a little rodent of some kind, a little mammal that it's going to eat. Hummingbirds drink nectar from flowers. And then here are some other birds that eat insects and seeds. All right, so here are some questions. This is also in another link on the Google Classroom assignment. You can just recopy this chart to add in your answers. And then you're going to complete the following sentence. One interesting thing I learned about birds is, and then make sure you add more to that sentence with punctuation at the end, and then you can turn it in either with a photograph or a Google document in Google Classroom. All right, we'll see you guys for chapter 8.